Hi, I'm Farah. I'm 48 years old. Guess what? I'm a advanced breast cancer survivor. I was diagnosed in 2010 and I was at 36 years old. Yeah. When I was first stage in 2010, it was at stage 2. Okay, I can say that there's no doubt that you feel lost. And after a while, I come back to my common sense that I said that I have to move on, because you already had it and you have to do something about it. So when I have that diagnosed, the doctor said, okay, Farah, you have this, but at that time I was 36. She said that you're still young, so we have to do this process. There's one time that the doctor said that I need to go for a chemo. He recommended me to one patient. She was quite tough. So the doctor let me sit with her and she talked to me that, Farah, this is your life and you have to do something about it. And she gave me that moral support for me to okay, this is it. I have to follow whatever the doctor asked me to do.
Farah has been a patient who is a participant in our breast cancer stage 4 clinical trial for at least 4 years. In fact, the trial came to her at the most opportune time when she had finished her chemotherapy and her options were getting restricted because of the limitations of cost.
I'm lucky enough. They have this whereby the hospital have this clinical trial. So I was very lucky and they put me into that clinical trial. So I try and yeah, till now I'm okay. It's like 4 years, 3 years plus. I'm a cancer free now. I can say that.
So the availability of the clinical trial was the time was perfect because it gave Farah to move on to a non-infusional treatment option, which she takes by pill, and she has been taking it for at least 5 years. The treatment has worked so well, and Farah has transformed from a shy and low self-esteem person, and she has become confident as she saw the improvement of her cancer. And while even on treatment, she was feeling very well, and she was able to pursue activities that she loved, and she found a place of tending horses where she is extremely active, walking at least 10,000 steps a day in the sun and being very active and on her feet. And she's extremely happy because the treatment not only controlled tumor, but she's also able to carry out living the way she wants it.
Third round, you can't feel anything. So, but I push myself that I have to eat, I have to drink, but I eat right and drink right and think right, So every time I finish my cycle of chemo, it's like 14 days. So every time I finish my treatment, the next day I'll do some exercise, I sweat a lot. I do hiking as well. I don't sit around.
Her participation in clinical trial, all the cost has been borne and has been borne by the trial. So she has now enjoyed 5 years of treatment, and recently her scan showed that there was no evaluable disease on the CT scan, and it was the most touching moment because she would have never thought that she would have been able to survive this long without any disease. She now leads her life the way she wants it, and she is realistic, but she is looking forward, still planning her life to enjoy more days and to give back to the society by sharing her experiences. And as you can see, that Farah is an excellent example how clinical trial can benefit any woman just like her.
I was very glad and I'm very happy that that I was the chosen one, and I'll be the like consider key person to try the medicine. I said, why not? So it's just we are the first to try the medicine. I said, why not? I just give it a try, and here I am. Healthy, stay strong. Deacon are very, very reasonable, and they are very helpful in terms of the patients, because sometimes patients have no, sometimes they don't even have 2,000-3,000 in their own account bank, but Deacon they have this, we call it CSR. So yeah, the costs are quite cheap, and all the doctors are very quite helpful, and they are very not keen in their work. They are very passionate in what they do,
Often, patients ask me if clinical trials are safe. I think everyone should be aware that the conduct of clinical trials, particularly the safety of the participants, will be carefully monitored and reviewed, not just by the team who conduct the clinical trial, but also by an independent body which is being commissioned by the trial to ensure the highest standards of treatment and practices are done. This is to ensure the highest quality and, of course, unbiased information will be obtained, and at the same time the patient's safety is all utmost at all times. Clinical trials are necessary because it compares the new treatment to what is being used right now, which is usually the standard of care, and the health regulatory authorities will be looking at these results very critically in order for them to decide whether the treatment is effective and safe prior to rolling out to people. So therefore, you should not worry about clinical trials. Do talk to the doctors and members who are involved in the clinical trial, and you are able to ask all the questions that you need to know more, so that you are fully informed before you participate into a clinical trial.
Many people don't know much about clinical trials, but actually, clinical trials are an important part of our health system, and it is important for us to find out if new treatments are actually more effective compared to those currently accepted as the best available standard of care. All of the new breast cancer treatment and prevention methods, they are actually tested rigorously through clinical trial process before they are made available to the people out there. A lot of people, when they think about clinical trials, they get very scared. But actually, there's nothing to be scared of, because before signing onto a clinical trial, they will give you a lot of new information for you to think about. This is to ensure that you can give your informed consent to participate in the trial. If you feel that you have a lot of questions and don't know who to ask, you may speak to your doctor or the clinical trial coordinator. It is important to know that you don't need to tell them yes right away. You can take the information home and discuss these options with someone that you trust.
Cancer is not a death sentence.